I suppose I am.
All right, Kimlin, thanks for doing this. Uh, let's
No problem.
start.
Sorry, I just took a
Ah,
swig from my water bottle.
it's all right. All right. Let's start out. What got you interested in voiceover?
The thing is, when I was growing up, I was always interested in characters and stories in general. I thought the way to get into cartoons was, well, when I was a kid, I said, I want to be a cartoon character when I grow up. And I was really derpy, and I thought the way to do that was to draw a lot. Over time, I realized, oh, I can make the characters, so I wrote a lot. But it was maybe until middle school, high schoolish that I realized, oh, you can act in them too, huh? So I met some. I coincidentally met a few voiceovers either while they were out shopping on accident or when they were at a convention, and I finally connected the dots that they were voice actors, and what they did was a thing.
Ah,
Um, and what finally cemented the whole okay, go pursue voice acting, go 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 go, do it was when I job shadowed one of them for a school project. Yeah, ooh, full circle. So I got to job shadow a voice actor, watched him work, and I realized, oh, look at that! It's not just for extroverted people who are crazy and have voices in their heads. It's not just for them. I mean,
ah.
and I learned that oh, it's a skill. You can learn how to do this. It's a legitimate professional profession like anything else. And to me, I it clicked in my head. Oh, you can learn how to do this. So I decided to go and learn how to do it.
All right, cool. All right. When you began voiceover, what kind of roles did you start out with?
I think as a whole, you go with whatever role you can get because like you still have to audition for everything
Yeah,
unless you make your own project or your friends scout you for certain roles. But for
yeah,
me, I had to audition like everyone else, and
yeah.
most of my first few roles were often flash animations that I got from the Voice Acting Club, which is sort of like an internet community for voice actors, especially the aspiring ones. So I
Huh.
started off with that. As for my first one or two in studio sessions was when I did additional voices for anime.
Oh, cool.
No specific roles, just additional voices, so I can get a feel for what the recording environment was about and how to take direction, and so on.
All right, that's cool. Um, how were you able to get some of your like more notable roles, like Fidget in Dust and Misfortune in Skullgirls?
Funnily enough, it's just like any other profession or any other voice acting role. It's sort of like I auditioned and I got the part. Though I will say that Fidget and Misfortune have a slightly adjusted story because the thing is that there are lots of opportunities that are out there, but you can only get those opportunities if they know that you have a chance of getting it. So it's not like scattered out to the winds per se. So the casting directors and voice directors of both of those projects were familiar with my work, and I had to audition against everyone in their talent pool. And trust me, they know lots of talented people, and I was
Ah,
fortunate enough to get them. Haha, you saw what I did there. And I was fortunate enough to get both roles.
ah. All right, that's cool. All right. What would you say is your favorite part of voiceover?
Let's see. That's a hard one because there's to me it's a let's see if I can go in order because there's just so many things that I like about it.
Ah,
It has its ups and downs, but that if I can rephrase it, it's a really, really challenging thing to do. At least for me, it is because I'm actually very, very shy, and
ah,
as a whole, it's I think one of the harder things, but one of the more rewarding things is learning that oh, voice acting is for anyone ever. You just gotta learn how to do it. And I thought, okay, you have to learn how to fake yourself. When I actually learned that acting, just like drawing or writing, really is something artistic that speaks from the heart. So you can't fake it. Or if you do fake it, then well, let me. For instance, have you ever heard someone laugh, and then you know, oh, it's a fake laugh, or you can
uh,
tell when someone isn't laughing for real, because
yeah.
it's a very organic kind of thing.
Yeah, I
So,
understand that.
exactly. So that's the thing about acting. You can tell when someone's really faking it. They have to come from a place where they can actually usher forth about it. Though that is, but there's just so much technique to it that because it's really hard to be spontaneous all the time, to be real in the moment because you're basically living truthfully in lots of imaginary circumstances. And you got to be able to do it every single time, especially when the director says, you know what, let's do a different take. This isn't fitting the vision that the creators are going for. So you have to be spontaneous every single time and be believable and all that stuff. It's really hard and challenging, but to me, it just taught me so much as an artist because I got it's sort of like everything fed into each other. Because I was a screenwriting major, I learned, oh, wait, I'm a screenwriting major. I have to learn how to write subtext. And the funny thing about writing subtext is you don't write anything because the thing about subtext is you're not supposed to hit the audience on the head about, oh my gosh, this moment speaks about the character's internal struggles. You're not supposed to hit them on the head with that. So you have to write stuff, or rather, not write the stuff that needs to be written but has to be conveyed. As an actor, I have to read, air quotes, read the parts that aren't written in the script so I can speak on a deeper level beyond what's just on the script. And it just keeps going on from there. When I was doing drawing, some of my drawings finally took off when I understand, oh yeah, instead of doing chicken scratches on the paper, I have to do one committed stroke. When you're acting, you can't just be all held back all the time. You have to really let it out there and be committed in what you do. So it all fed into each other. I think that's the thing that's my biggest takeaway. It's very artistic, very personal, and it's almost spiritual to an extent too. But now I'm just rambling. So
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All right.
it's sort of like I think another thing I like a lot about voice acting is sort of like, and I have a funny time explaining this to lots of people because they're saying, okay, even though it's a very personal thing, what if your character is a serial killer? You're not a serial killer in real life, are you? That kind of thing. And that's the hard part to figure out, oh, well, how do I play this character believably? Believably, believably, without believably without being, I don't know, how do I say this? Yeah, this is gonna be fun to edit later. No, it's not.
Yeah.
How do we do this? How do we do this role? And another way is sort of like, let's face it, acting is not all method. So another way of thinking about it is sort of like you're playing you, but in a different universe, so to speak. What if you were raised as an orphan with no parents? That's different from this kind of universe, so you're just going all these split universe kind of thing. Like, clearly, Fidget is different from Misfortune. They both have different pasts about them. We're not too sure about Fidget's past, but we know that for Misfortune, her family got murdered. So,
Well, yeah.
so there's that. And
I thought it was her clan, not her family.
well, they might as well be her family.
Ah, good point.
The Dragonians, they got killed, and she's just like, and we kind of know that in the actual game of Skullgirls, there's like multiple paths and what happens to her. One playthrough, she's just like completely venge filled, and the other one is just like, you know what, I'm moving on with my life. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Got to be in the moment, learn how to be like you, and every single unique moment. Basically, you have to have the knowledge of parallel universes confined into your mind.
Yeah, the Cerebella storyline didn't end well for Misfortune.
Oh no, not too well. Oh.
All right.
Not that I got to act it out, but at least I got a sense of what will happen if they ever have those parts voiced.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a pretty deep answer. I'll say that.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. How has voiceover affected your life since you started? Do you consider yourself successful now because of it?
I will say it changed my life a whole lot because I did mention that I'm an extremely shy person, and not to say that it made me an extrovert, but it taught me a lot of things about there's a difference between feeling like, oh, I'm a worthless person because I can't do anything. There's a difference between self-worth and self-efficacy. So the thing is that, oh, I might hate myself, for instance, but you know what? I know something that I can do, and I can do it right. And the one thing I can do is like I can write, I can draw, but I can also voice act. And that's taught me, you know what? The thing is that instead of like trying to come up with this preconceived notion about what it means to be a worthwhile person, at least you know, hey, I can do this thing and I can do this thing, and apparently has an impact on the lives of others. People like what I do. And it's very rewarding and makes me think, oh, look at that. I can do that thing. And even though I can feel shy, at least I can take comfort in knowing that I made someone's day awesome. And it's like, yeah, I did that. I'm not a bad person after all. And as for yeah, and as for success, I feel I feel like I have a long way to go. But you know what? I think I'm taking the right steps so far. I'm making progress, slow and steady.
Well, that's good to hear. All right, last question. Where do you see your career in the future, like 5 or 10 years from now?
Ah, isn't that the thing? When it's a blank slate, it's really hard to see anything. But you know what? When some people see a blank slate and they see nothing, to me, I see a canvas waiting to be filled in. So I don't know. I don't know. Just this infinite possibilities. I'm looking forward to stuff though.
Oh, yeah. All right, Kimlin, thanks again for doing this. I really appreciate it.
No problemo, and thank you for interviewing me.
My pleasure.